Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Convo Houston Live with RE and Chosen. Special guest, FD Sparkman. All right. So
Hey,
we're going to do a recap of, first again, let me apologize for no Coffee and Convo Houston last Sunday, but I do hope you enjoyed your Mother's Day. The week before that, our topic was renewing the mind. Chosen, can you give us a recap of that show?
all right. Once again, good morning, salutations and greetings. Um, like Ari just said, okay, you were not with us last week. We did renewing the
The week
mind,
before.
like how to go the week before, because we weren't there last week. So we did
No.
renewing the mind. Right. So we
Good
had
morning, Jarrell.
renewing your mind. How do you go about doing? How you go about renewing your mind? Remember, the means like
The
redo,
importance of
meaning
renewing your
you
mind
got
as well.
exactly. So yeah,
Hmm.
if you want anything new, you have to redo and change from the old and the coming of the new. So that's basically what we was talking about. It was just one of those straight to the topic subjects we
Good
had
morning, Rochelle.
week before last. Good morning for y'all that are just tuning in.
Okay. So this week we're going to jump right into, are you in line with your dreams? I think that's a pretty good topic, especially with this day and age, the transition going on from have the two of you noticed how the workforce is going through a dramatic change right now?
Yep.
Corporate America is going through a
Oh yeah.
dramatic change. Okay, so today's topic is, are you in line with your dreams? And this is important because a lot of people out there are working jobs that they really have no interest in working just to make ends meet. I think we discussed this before at one another time. Chosen people taking long distance drives for a job. I want to ask, how do you think that has been impacted with the COVID situation?
Ooh. When you think about the COVID situations, you might have some people that have those jobs that have hours cut, and then it's a eye opener. So you might not be taking that. You might not be taking that drive that much. So it's time to reflect to say, hey, yo, I might not have been appreciative or where I am, where I am or where I was when I was taking that commute, and now you got to think of some things. So that right there help you get aligned with your dreams and make you think, okay, what is after what I'm doing now? What's really going on? It's time to think. So in that time to think, there's it's like a reset button.
Hmm.
So so with COVID, it happened because I know, like in my situation, I seen a lot of things around me, at my place of work. Um, a lot of things slowed down. So it made a lot of people be like, hey, if this doesn't work, then what else is there after? Okay, now I have time to do X, Y, Z for myself. So when you say how COVID did, I think COVID made a lot of people realize, hey, you can't really depend on anybody else to take care of you. You can have the best job in the world, but if that crisis comes and you're in that certain field, that certain industry where that impact is going to really, really be severe, and you gotta start thinking about other things. You can have that, that you could be making that 100K a year, but if you in that industry where where the COVID and the pandemic stuff hit, you might find yourself in a situation where you gotta move. So I
So,
think
Frederick,
that
go
yeah.
ahead. You think what?
So I think that that's something that'll help you it might seem bad. It might have a negative outlook. You might look at it negative at
In the
first, but
beginning,
as the beginning, but
right?
then it has a positive outlook to say, hey, this is what you're gonna have to do because things are different.
So Frederick, how would you say it shook up the I call it the false sense of job security?
There is no such thing as job security.
I'm aware.
I don't know why people keep calling, well, that's job security. Well, that's going to keep you, really. There's no such thing as job security. I mean, the only security that you can ever really have is in your own person. And even that sometimes is suspect. But job security, everything ebbs and flows. There's a season for everything. So when something goes up, it's going to come down. Then you have those things that are moderate, where they're always there. Now, if you are in the medical field, for some people it's slowed down, for some people it's sped up. So you could say job security, but have you ever actually seen job security? If you look at the Great Depression, was there job security then? I mean, they had signs up that says if you were looking for work and you didn't have a job, keep moving. There's nothing.
Okay, so the topic today is, are you in line with your dreams? And I brought up COVID because COVID shook up, as we've already established, shook up people's lives, their financial situation. We're going to have fun today. So during COVID, you know, a lot of entrepreneurs have come out of the trenches, you know, to try to make those ends meet. And a lot, it's like people, like you say, woke up. This pandemic shook up that false sense of job security that they've had. I'm sure you've heard on the news that people are not really trying to return to work, you know. So they are starting their own companies. What did you say, Frederick?
Nothing.
Okay. So they're starting their own company. We have more podcasts out here. We have more people doing their what they call the hobby. They're trying to grow full time. You have people that are not trusting the child care centers, you know, due to COVID and things of that nature. So they're at home, working from home. I mean, granted, there are still corporations out there that have adjusted the way they do things now, so you can work from home now remotely. And then you still have those that are not willing to put in the funds necessary to transition in that manner. So when I'm asking, are you in alignment with your dreams, this is like the perfect time for you to lay out that plan and start doing what you want to do, you know, for you and your family. Now, Frederick, how would you suggest that a person go about making that transition from corporate America to entrepreneurship? You know, without being drastic.
Ask, seek not.
That's normally what we.
First of all, you got.
That's normally what we tell people. Ask
what it is. Not.
So we're going to that assessment of self.
You know, well, yeah, you got to know what it is you want to do. I mean, what's the worst thing in the world is starting something that you're going to hate. That's a colossal waste of time in some cases. In some cases, it'll actually show you what you really do want. Just because you think you want something doesn't mean that that's actually what you're going to be good at and successful at. So the biggest thing is my dream obtainable? That's the first question you got to ask yourself.
Okay, so I want to address this because I see we have Jarrell R&B in here. Good morning, Jerome. We have Jarrell R&B in here, and we have Chosen. Now, the two of you are musical artists. How has that? How I want to say, how has COVID impacted that, and have you made a true assessment as to how you can continue to advance in that field?
All right, so being with COVID, you probably, and as a musical artist, as a even somebody that does the performing arts, we'll just say somebody
Mm-hmm.
that's in performing arts, you're gonna have less gigs, because a lot of people aren't gonna want to gather in the same space. So what you're gonna have to do after that is, you got to switch your game up. So maybe have you've invested in like a home setup. You got your home setup where you can either write, whether you do poetry, whether you compose music, you write, you record, and then you do virtual concerts, virtual
Right.
recitals. So it's always another way to come at it, so that you
Think
can,
outside the
so that
box.
you can continue to be, yeah, so you can come at it so that you can keep on going. Yeah, because I also know of
Okay.
I have a constituent that performs in a band, and he's like, yeah, your gigs are you can't really gig no more, so you got to come up with other ways to take
Really?
care of and then keep it going and to stay relevant. So it's almost like, thank the y'all for social media, because you can get on there, you can do like a 30 minutes
Those live
relevant,
events.
right? Spit you a piece, sing you some songs, and do some live things, and you can stay relevant like that. So it has an impact. It's just all about how you go about. It's like how you go about putting yourself out there and staying relevant.
Okay, so Jarrell says you got to realize what makes you comfortable. He also says it's a lot of artists that truly recognize now how music has been saving their life. Um, so basically, I'm taking out of that they are learning that what their dreams really are and starting to live in alignment with, living in alignment with their dream. Now, FD,
Mhm.
you still go, but I mean, both of you, y'all still go to a physical location for work. Um, and for us, it's different because we're writers. I mean, I am a poet as well, but I don't do shows, so that has not impacted me. But as a writer, do you feel as though that this may have changed your aspect on things? I'm speaking of COVID. Do you feel like it has changed your perspective, your the way you're doing things, or is everything the same prior to for you? I mean, for me, it's
Well,
given me a lot of more
actually,
material. I can tell you that.
I was already prepared for it to come, so I had already made the adjustments before it hit. So for me, actually, it just gives me a little bit more time to do some of the other stuff, whereas the world was trying to force me to speed up. Now the world is working in line with what I want because it's slowing down.
I can see that. Jarrell says being talented comes with the vice that wants to showcase the talent in its entirety. Chosen.
Well, I don't know, because you got to
I
think.
mean,
Oh, go ahead.
no, I mean that I have no rebuttal. I have no rebuttal for that. That's because I mean you have to
FD, do
pull out
you?
all the stops whenever it comes. Yeah, when you
Yeah,
have to pull
because
out all the
being
stops, it makes you go from, yeah.
so right now in the middle of this pandemic is the best time to put your best foot forward. We've said, this is the best time to use that social media, that camera, that private time at home, all of that. Go live, let people see. Good morning, Leroy. Leroy has a comment. Businesses are sometimes
All right.
birthed from dreams, lineage, and pain or tragic situations such as this coronavirus situation. In order to get in line with your dreams, you have to get on the line by starting at the best starting point you start on. And that's all we're saying. Are you in alignment with your dreams? Are you doing something daily to advance you to your goals?
Well, the best place to start is at the beginning. So you got to
At
start
the
somewhere
beginning.
at the beginning.
Or,
The
or
only way you can
like
start
a
is at the
friend of
beginning.
Leroy's have said, I heard him quote this. He was saying that the best place to start is where you are. The best
Right
place to
then,
start
at
is
that
where you
moment.
are, right then at that moment. I mean, because
Right then at that moment.
this is true, right then at that moment. I mean, a lot of dreams do not come to fruition because of fear and quitting. Quitting.
Don't forget procrastination.
I was just about to address how doing something daily to get you to your goal is one of the best courses to take. A friend of mine, y'all remember Nation? Nation used to tell me all the time, inch by inch, anything is a cinch. Inch by inch, anything is a cinch. If you look at your dreams and you it's attainable, but you think that it's too much to go into it to obtain it. If you take small steps, you'll get there. You need faith, persistence, and that passion. That's the only thing I can really see in that. Do you have anything to add to that, FD?
Well, it's like you said, inch by inch is a cinch. What I've always heard is, how do you eat an elephant? A bite at a time. And for some of us, we always start at the back of the elephant, and that causes problems. So if you're going to try to eat the elephant, start at the trunk.
Wow.
Do the little
Frederick, Darrell says, how do you feel about Kevin Samuels?
I have no idea who that is.
Okay, so Darrell, and you're going to have to provide a little more information. Okay, so
Yes, Frederick. Kevin Samuels,
yeah, he asked
man,
Frederick.
the only thing I can say about Kevin Samuels is, I guess he hit that I've had enough stride. Okay, this has been going on for too long. I'm just gonna say what it is that needs to be said. Sometimes, a lot of times, he's on point, and then sometimes, like, it's just like, okay, I'm just gonna get here and shake up the beehive. So I'm gonna say that about Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, who is he?
Okay, you're gonna have to do a bit more. I'd rather you find out
Jarrell
who he
laughing. I'm
is or
serious.
what
Who is he? I mean, because honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I saw Samuels, and you talking about how does Frederick feel about Kevin Samuels, and the first thing that came to my mind was the beer. That's Samuels. That was the first thing that came to my mind. Yeah, Samuel Adams. That beer. That was. I'm like, who is he talking about here? But okay, so I'm so serious.
I mean, Kevin Samuels.
I still don't.
He
is he
who this guy is.
journalist, a politician, or who is he? A civil rights person nowadays?
You don't know who he is either, R.E.?
I don't. I baby no.
Oh my gosh.
I don't.
Don't worry,
Who is
Jarrell. I'm gonna have to put her on game, both of them on game, because this dude, he usually have me cracking up.
He's a comedian?
Nope.
You talking about? Okay, then.
But some of the things that he'll say.
He says, Jarrell says he think we should do a show about him. So I'm gonna look into it. Yeah, okay, let me notate that. I'm gonna look into who this man
I'll say
is.
this. I think I'm gonna say this. I think I'm gonna say this. If both of them were X-Men, Kevin Samuels would be Magneto, and Derek Jackson would be Professor X. Kevin Samuels don't really give a darn.
Wow, is that okay?
Then again, it's kind of unfair to compare Derek Jackson to Professor X. But I'm just saying, it's like one that Kevin Samuels.
I don't even know.
Don't give a darn. Hold up, what happened?
You don't know either one of them, do you?
I don't even know who Derek is. No.
Oh,
I'm gonna tell you about him.
Hey, but I know about him. Good that you guys ain't really knowing about the dude.
Okay, so no, let's get back to the topic. Are you in alignment with your? Okay, So, Frederick, you told us that you needed to do an assessment, and we talked about starting where you are. I need you to take that self assessment deeper scripturally.
Ooh.
Well, the Bible says before you can build a house or anything else, you must first count the cost. So, do you have a plan? I mean, you know the 7 problem-solving steps that they come up with in the military. Identify the problem, gather information. You ever heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
Analyze it, compare
I kind of.
action, plan, make a plan, implement the plan.
Drill says he's out of alignment. Okay, so Kevin Samuels, advanced type advice type coach. So no wonder you mentioned Derek Jackson. That kind of put it together for me. The only person I really, because I used to listen to Derek Jackson, I haven't heard of Kevin Samuels, but Tony Gaskin. I listened to what he says. Frederick says, Tony Gaskin. He's an author. Okay. We're gonna move on from there. You and I need to talk. We really need to talk. So,
okay.
Oh man.
Well, just like Chosen said, staying relevant. Okay, relevant to who? I mean, you got.
That's a good. Being in alignment with your dreams.
Well,
okay.
I mean,
staying relevant.
but if you're talking about, but depending on the industry that you're in and what your dream entails of, when you talk about like performing arts or musical artists, you want to stay relevant to your audience, or you stay relevant to what audience you attract. So even if you're a culinarian, you want to stay relevant to the people that tune into your show, or who actually has your cookbook, or who wants to find out what your recipes consist of. So when I say staying relevant, we're staying relevant to the audience.
Okay.
It's a symbiotic circle. You know what I'm saying?
What about for those that's not in? What about those that are in arts? The only thing that I would say the pandemic has done to affect the industry we're in is book signings. You pretty much book signings are the book tours and things are like it's going to be just like gigs. People are not going to want to gather into a library or a little office space or whatnot to do book signings. So I can see that being a challenge for those that are not. Okay.
When you are in line with your dreams, it's also same thing as being aligned with y'all, because you get the solutions. Remember, I believe that we talked about most people don't go further because they don't agree with the solution. Okay, we might feel like the solution is
that comes up a lot,
or the solution is in unfamiliar territory. So, for instance, when you said, and just like what you just got through saying, when you talked about the book signing, I wasn't even thinking about that. But whenever you said the book signing, boom, it came to me right then and there. So once again, you use that tool, which is called social media. You use all these different platforms and YouTube, and you throw these links on Instagram to say, hey, instead of me having this book signing, I'm going to have a live stream of Q&A. You know what I'm saying? So you're an author. You are already doing spoken word. The only thing is you're just putting it on paper. So your thoughts are already there. It's just that when you start talking about this Q&A, you can go, off the head and off the rip for so long that the time will just pass. You do a live stream and you let you let your audience know when at what time that live stream is going to go live, and there you have it. So you pretty much doing a book
Okay.
signing, you pretty much doing a Q&A, and you staying relevant.
Interesting. You know, I didn't
Okay.
think of that.
What about the inchworm?
The
You said
inchworm.
what about the inchworm?
Yeah, people like
Hey,
yeah, people like
I mean, hey,
since I
so
don't
even
have a audience,
You
I'm just waiting,
you're
biding my
breaking up,
time
Frederick.
because it's all about timing for me.
Okay.
Well, what I was saying was,
be the progress.
as I've written, it's taking time for people to begin to find the books, to read the books,
Mm-hmm.
to acknowledge the books or whatever. And sometimes it takes time, and I don't so much need to be relevant, but what I have written must remain relevant.
That makes sense. You know,
So
because
once they read it,
I published my first poetry book in 2004. And I will still advertise that book because I believe that those poems are still relevant. So I will continue to market those, you know. Frederick, while we're on books and as we were speaking, we're going to do a shameless plug right here. Where can we find your books again?
Amazon.com. You can look at Goodreads, all three of them on Goodreads, and you can look at Barnes and Noble, and you'll find the Friendship Manual.
All right.
And then there are some other places like Abe Books, Thrift Books.
Okay. So I wanted to ask, and I was thrown off on that. There was a statement you made, Frederick, about goodness gracious me. When I asked you to dive deeper spiritually and be in alignment with your dreams, I was asking and I asked you, Chosen, what about those that are not in the performing arts? We're wanting to address those that are not attempting to showcase their talent, you know, musically, writing, even modeling. You know, let's talk about the stay-at-home mom with the 3 kids that have to pay bills. I'm there now. So starting your stepping out on faith. Let's say you have $300 and you know you need a LLC or the DBA, the licenses, whatever. Most people don't take that step of faith because the finances don't look right. How would you suggest they go about starting their business with limited funds without having to jump through red tape, you know, putting themselves in debt?
Man,
It's like going fishing or biting. It's like the elephant thing. There was this time when I was just had my apartment just burned down and I lost everything. And I'm in maintenance, so you live by your tools. And I needed $2,000 worth of tools to just do anything. And so what I began to do is what the Most High told me, a little at a time. So what I would do was each pay period, I would buy a few tools. And I started off and my friends was laughing at that little pile of tools I had on the floor. That was sitting all by itself looking lonely. And then after a month or so, they stopped laughing because that pile of tools got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then finally, I bought a box. And before I knew what was going on, in about 3 or 4 months, since I didn't have the money to buy it all at once, I did it like the Bible says, a little by little, here a little, there a little.
Little by little.
And before I knew it, the Most High told me to stop because I was running out of room in the toolbox I had just bought. I had double everything. I had everything I needed. The only thing that I actually needed was time and preparation.
So Now, there are a category of people that wait to that crunch time till the fire is just extremely hot before they make a move. So, what
Mm.
about those that just leap out on faith? I have this money right here. I can do this and have that and just go for it. What do you have to say to them?
Well, see, well, the thing about it is, there's this sin in the Bible where presumption. You can't go
Mm-hmm.
with your box of Wheaties and say, "This is my box of Wheaties. I just bought it. Bless this for me." It doesn't work that way. Presumption is when you go and do something under your own steam, expecting the Most High come and divinely give you help, appropriation, or whatever you need. But if you take that step back and you first count the cost, and then you run that cream by the Most High, and the Most High tells you what to do, that's when you stepping out on faith, when he tells you what to do. If you go out and just do something without addressing it to the Most High, or him approving of what you're trying to do, or your endeavor, or blessing your endeavor, that's foolishness. That is folly.
Okay. So, the first and foremost to be in alignment with your dream is to consult with the Most High before you make a step.
Who is the author of your dreams?
There you go. All right. There you go. So, that's the first step.
There it is.
There it is. Consult with the Most High. And then you say the second one would be what? Self-assessment of everything. That would be emotionally, mentally, and financially, correct? Oh, and time.
Yeah.
Because that time is very, very important when you're laying out your plan, you know. So time is of the essence. Third one, chosen.
Well, the key
So we
and
have
the secret to stepping out. Oh, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Because we've got consult with the Most High, self-assessment, chosen. Third.
Execution. So
Yeah.
Assessment, execution.
after you've gotten
I think
all the
planning.
pieces. Huh? You
I
went
think
with
planning will come after
Okay, well
self-assessment.
then, okay. Self-assessment. But I mean, self-assessment, doesn't that go hand in hand with planning? After you seen what it is that you,
I would say
as you
self-assessment.
see what it
I
is
would
that
say
you
self-assessment.
lack,
You make your plan based on your ability. Yes.
yeah, plan based on
Okay.
your
I agree
ability.
with
You
chosen.
see, like what that is. So it's like,
I don't see it that way.
let's say you work this 9 to 5. Okay, well, let's say you work
Mm-hmm.
this 9 to 5. All right, and you want to figure out how. Okay, how do I fit this into the schedule that I am? Okay, I know my weaknesses. Okay, well, dang, I come home and I'm tired. I don't feel like this and I don't feel like that. And then you it's like you're having this heart to heart with your spirit. And so whenever you had this heart to heart with your spirit, it gives you the answer. So it says basically it's like, okay, you work these many hours. Okay, well, you're never supposed to be so tired at your job that you can't come home and do the things what is for you. And so it's like, okay, after you've done that, then next thing you're gonna do is be like, okay, you know what? Well, if I go to work at 2:30, and if I go to work at 2:30, well, I have to plan to wake up a little earlier so I can get this workout in and maybe do 2 or 3 hours towards my dream, or 2 or 3 hours to do what it is I have to do before I go to this job.
See,
And then
for
when you
my
get home,
self-assessment, it's always been. See, my self-assessment has always been basically, as you were saying, my ability. You know, not my time, just my ability. That's all I look at. Because that time that you're saying that needs to be addressed and everything, for me and the way I do things, that time I can jump right in. I mean, you know, I used to work morning shifts. So when I would get home, you know, by the time I get home and unwind and everything, my nighttime, that was already a given for me, you know, for my to working towards my dream. That was always a given. My nighttime and my weekend. Okay. So for me, that wasn't part of my self-assessment. It was something I already knew. That's why I'm saying that's the difference for me.
But still at the same time, that's still the plan. Like you've already seen, like what it is. That's still the plan. So it's like, so when
I get you.
when you talk about your abilities, You talk about, okay, now it's just when am I going to execute these abilities, and when am I going to put this to get to where I need to be at? So it's like your self-assessment
Okay.
is also
All
your
right.
planning, because you're
And
looking at
go ahead.
yeah, you're looking
Yeah,
at
but you're also looking at something differently. Think
Mhm.
about it like this. Women have more energy than men. And 9 times out of 10, when you go to work, nobody's going to be saying, hey, Rosin, I need you to lift these 5 heavy boxes and load them into this truck. So
So
you're not going to be
there's
physically drained when you get home.
no.
I mean, nobody's going to be coming to you
Okay,
and
so I
saying,
see that.
move these 200.
I can see that. That's like
So,
because the two of you actually do physical labor. So I can see, you know, not having the energy after work to have to get ready and go do a show or do a live stream show, you know, or you having to do a live stream Q&A. I can see. I mean, a lot of what I do is behind the scenes. So I get that.
okay.
I get that. I get that. So I guess it
I mean,
depends
I
on.
could be the real Frederick and do what I always do and push that button. But everywhere I've ever been, I have yet to see a woman come out there and lift the heavy stuff. Oh, excuse me, sir, I'll get that for you. 9 times out of 10, they're the ones telling you to go lift the heavy stuff. They go back and sit at their desk, get on the computer
I
and do
get
whatever
it.
it is they're doing. So when they get home, I'm sure they got lots of physical energy left.
True. I'm because I used to come in, and that's when the evening time, taking care of the house, and you know everything would hit. I would have all the energy to do all of that. So I get it. I get it. So I
okay, so
see the
let's use
difference.
okay, so we'll go with yeah, so
If
okay,
your man
so
is doing
we'll
good,
say yeah.
he come from work.
So you got to throw in time management, then let's say assessment, then time management, then execution,
Okay. All
because that's
right.
pretty much
So
what it
then,
is, and
okay,
we'll
I'll
go
take
from
that.
there and we'll see.
So consult with the Most
Yeah.
High. Um, what- self-assessment, and
Time
then you
management,
said
like the man
time
just stated.
management.
Time management.
Time
Time
management.
management.
That's a part of planning, though.
Then planning.
Yes,
Right?
it is a part of
Well,
planning.
see, that's all part of planning.
That's all part of planning. Okay. Then we go into executing.
Also part of planning.
Then we go into executing. Okay. Making sure we're all on the same page here.
Hold. Yep. Yep. Hold. Now. Attack.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's
Now
the
attack.
same. Yeah. We're
Now
there.
for
We're there.
we there? Okay. All right. So do we have any questions, comments, suggestions, or anything? No? Okay. So and when we're doing this, now we also have to make sure that when we're doing the planning and the assessment, all of that good stuff, that's where we're also looking into resources. You can't forget that you can't do everything on your own. Utilize your resources.
Sure.
That is one. Go ahead. Look like you want to say something, Chosen.
Who, me?
No? Yes.
Oh,
Look like you wanted to say
Frederick
something.
was shaking his head. I thought you was going to say, look like Frederick wanted to say something. But I mean, but you did kind of read the room a little bit, because you did do good read the room, because what I wanted to say would
Go
actually
ahead.
be something fitting for like the next time. But yeah, but when you say resources, oh my goodness, they come in abundance, because resources also come with the support of the people around you, and people that see what you are doing, and the people that are for your highest good. They'll always have some form of information or resource that they can point you into a direction to go. So for instance, it's like, I see them doing this. Hey, I know somebody that can this. So like you said, you never ever do anything alone. Like, okay, like I always used to tease a lot of my friends and a lot of people when every time I see these 2 words or these 3 words, Every time I see these three words in either a post, a comment, or even when they say it, that's all me. I'll be like, nah,
Mm.
mm-mm. There's never a that's all me. Your help came from somewhere. So
Or
help within itself is a resource. So, you're always around people that are going to have something for you. So there's no such thing as a all or as a that's all me.
that is true.
So it's important to take inventory of your circle. And I say that because your
Mhm.
support system, as we've already stated, they are your resource. That's your support system. They know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, or know how to
Yeah,
do
that's
something
why
that
I
you
get,
may not be able to do. They
man.
idea, and they may be able to help you tweak it, see it in a different perspective to help it better flow. Yes, what you have something to say?
Man, look, I'm yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all, I cannot tell y'all how many times I have hit the stage and gone to a venue where there's maybe 10 people in the venue, or maybe less than that, or it could be 20 people in the venue where I've performed, and there's been an artist that has come and brought all their people out. So that 5 people that was in that venue, these people have come and they brought maybe 15, so now that's 20. That 5 are in there, do not expect what it is that you're about to bring to that table, or about to bring to that stage, the energy that you're about to bring into that venue. That 15 though, chances are that 15, all of them know every word of that song, every chant, every hook. So they sit up in their support system, they give the room that I want to be a part of
That
this vibe.
energy.
You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So having that, so that energy and those people that are there for them, that's a very, very big resource within itself. Because if you take in that support system everywhere you go, or they're there for you,
Hmm.
man, I'm telling you, that right there by itself it separates a lot of things. That's pretty much who's gonna win that showcase. That's pretty much who's gonna get seen first, and that's pretty much who people are gonna remember. So it's a resource, though that's one big uh that's like your real big step towards your dreams. That shows how
Hmm.
aligned with your dreams that you are whenever you utilize the
Your support
resource,
system.
which is your support group,
Now, I have a different
your
way
Correct.
of
support
looking at
system.
that.
Okay, share.
Go ahead. What's that?
Well, when Jesus, he came into the town and the little girl had died, and all the people was around in the room with him. The first thing he did was he cleared the room of all the doubters and only left the believers in the room before he performed the miracle.
Mm.
Like Chosen
I
say,
was just about to
get
mention
on
that.
your venue.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that when I said take stock of your support system, take inventory of it, because that naysayer that's in there can diminish that energy that you're feeding off
Hmm.
of to grow, to elevate in your business. So you're gonna want to, if anyone in your circle saying you can't do, you shouldn't do, or if I were you, I
Rid yourself,
wouldn't. What do
rid
you
yourself
say?
of the
Yeah, what do you
juices.
say, Frederick? Cut slings, cut slings.
Yeah, the Bible also says, cast out the scorner. Cast out the scorner. Get rid of that sling.
All right, so it
Kick him
is
to the curb with
important.
3 feet.
Please be please be mindful of your circle, because those that you hang around will they fuel the energy that you're running off of. Think about all of that. So let's go ahead and do our bullet points here. So the are you in line with? No, not ready.
Okay.
I can't
Well,
hear
there was
you.
something going
There
on
you
with the
go.
exactly. It's something going on with the with the airwave or whatever you want to call it.
Feed.
The feed. There you go. So
The feed.
um
Hmm.
being in line with, yeah, being in line with your dreams, the bullet point that I want to hit is you do know that your dreams are connected to the supernatural. So that means that your thoughts come from the supernatural. Your solutions will come from the supernatural. So whatever it is that is in you to do, you're going to have the solution, and then that depends whether or not you act on it. It totally solely depends on you. On, do I feel like the solution is too much work? But when you feel like the solution is too much work, you already creating your stagnation. You're already creating your setback.
Mm-hmm.
And so as you have to get to what the solution is and go ahead and work on that solution, get closer to your dreams, then that's what you got to do. It's a you got to do what you got to do type situation. And then now that's not to say that certain things around you are going to make it difficult for you to do those things. There might be life changing or life rearranging situations that come around to make you have to detour. But even though a detour may take longer, it's still progress. So it's
It's
still a
still
move forward.
progress. Yeah.
You are going to determine whether you're going to determine whether or not it's going to make you go backwards or it's going to make you go forward. So as long as you keep on going forward, then you'll always have progress, no matter how slow it is. So that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's my
Inch
bullet
by
point. It's
inch.
like your dreams are going to drive you because your dreams are going to drive you because it's something from the supernatural. It's something that you were supposed to have. The Most High gave that to you.
Yes.
That's number
Yes.
one.
Well said.
From the supernatural.
Well said. Well said. FD, what do you have? Your bullet points.
I always paraphrase this one scripture. If your mind is stayed on him, he will order your thoughts. So if I keep that in line, I have no choice but to keep moving forward. Because if my mind is still on him, he's always going to tell me the next step to take. That's it.
That's it. All right. So as I stated, being in alignment with your dreams takes passion, perseverance, and oh goodness gracious. You need to personally be sure that this is the route you want to take. Be sure of that. Self-assessment. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't quit. Because as Nation used to tell me all the time, the world needs your dreams. The world needs your gift. The world needs your gift. And I can't say that enough. The world needs your gift. It's not for you. It's for the people out here. You're supposed to be sharing that gift with others. So the world needs your gift. You never know what you may say, what you may do, what you may sing, what you may draw, how it's going to impact someone else's life. So if nothing else, take that from this show. Your dream, your gift, it's important to others out here.
Yes, indeed.
Y'all want to expound on that, or are we good?
Okay, so
There's
I'll
no
take
need
that
to
a
expound
little
on
bit
that
further.
unless Chosen
what you're
does.
saying. Yeah. I mean, just to bring to light what it is, you never know how many people that I see in the comments, not just on my on my art or my work,
Mm-hmm.
but there are people that sit up, like if you go to a YouTube link and you listen to maybe like one of your favorite songs or a song or something that you haven't heard in a long time, and you start reading them comments and you start be like, I'm so grateful that you had this song. I listened to this song when I was going through such a bad time, or when you have a spoken word piece. Oh, I really needed to hear that. I was going through this and this and that. So what you're saying is very, very true. It's you share it with the world because you just never know. You might even save a life.
You never
Somebody
know.
might be going through
Exactly.
it might be going through a great depression, and what you have to give out just save their life, or maybe it helped change their life. Maybe they were having a big addiction to maybe alcohol, and whatever you had to offer, it helped them say, hey man, you know what, this ain't the way, and we listen to you and you give me strength, and then you get those thank yous. So what you just said
Exactly.
is very, 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 very true when it comes to your dreams.
Because I will never forget
after
after my first book signing. Yeah, I'll never forget after my first book signing. A young woman walked up to me and hugged me and thanked me for the book. And she said she felt as though I was speaking directly to her. I don't know if you could imagine what that made me feel. You know, this complete stranger to tell me my book, as she read it, made her feel as though I was talking directly to her. It did something for her. That was an awesome feeling. So please don't put your gift on the lock and key. Don't quit on your gift. You have it for a reason. Okay? Thank you for live with RE and Chosen special guest FD Sparkman. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please email us at coffeeandconvohue@gmail.com. You'll see it on the page. And please join us again next Sunday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Don't forget to like and share from YouTube. Like and share our Facebook page as well. We have a comment here. Leroy says we must be ready to listen to our inner whisper and intuition when it comes to our dreams, and we must be ready to apply, nurture, and add on to make our dreams better. Look at that. I told you, I love the way he just wraps up our show.
Hey,
Thank you for joining. Resources.
It's that support system right there.
That's that support
Perfect.
system. Y'all have a lovely Sunday.
Y'all bless.
God bless.